So, you want to learn how to change the oil in your new Mustang convertible? Well, you gotta watch a different video. I don't know how to do that. Welcome back to TutsByKai. I'm Kai, and today we're back learning how to make your pixel art creations look absolutely heavenly. It's super easy to get caught up and not understand where you should place pixels or what colors to use or how to make shapes. So I'm gonna break it down in 3 defiantly handsome steps: the shape, the color, the sauce. Saucy. A lot of people tend to overly complicate pixel art or build it up to be this crazy thing when in reality, it's probably a lot more simple than you think. For instance, look at this pear, guava, fruit thing that I created. When you take away the color, it's just a thick circle, like my cheeks because I started going to the gym last week. Anyway, let's take it slow. Ask yourself, what are you drawing? A sword? A book? Let's start with the basic shape. Use one color. I like to use black because it's easier to see, and just create a starting shape. From there, add a few colors to define the shape inside of your black blob. For the sword, I have 2 colors, the actual blade and then the handle. Beautifully done. Let's keep going. Pixel art is all about doing a singular step and then refining it. So, let's refine it. Pick another color and let's add some shadows to further define the shape. Keep in mind, 50% of pixel art is dictating shape by color, not by silhouette. So every pixel counts. Highlights work the same as shadows, but they light the highs. Yeah, I usually use highlights to break up the huge chunks of space that look too flat. And speaking of my cheeks, before I went to the gym, you never want to just shade every edge of your pixel art. This is called pillow shading, and it makes your art look like a pillow, and it completely loses its shape. Now, for instance, which of these look more round? See what I mean? Just take your time and try to remember that you don't have to rush. Look at this image of a basketball. Clearly, the underneath is darker than the top. So let's make our circle orange, and then we'll add a shadow at the bottom half of the ball. But instead of drawing a straight line like when Dwayne Johnson had hair, I'm gonna arc it downwards to make the ball look roundish. After that, we can add the highlight. Now there's 2 ways I like to do this. Either there's a giant line at the top, or wherever the light goes, or you can do a more stylized kind of spot, ricocheting off the dome of the ball in the beautiful moonlight. Didn't know I was a poet, did you? I want to talk about color. So I'm sure you've noticed in this video that my art doesn't look like this. Ooh. And that's because I'm being very soft with my color choices. Instead of boosting the saturation to the maximum velocity, I choose a nice soft color with a modest brightness. And for shadows, instead of just darkening the base color and making it look all weird and muddy, I shift the hue depending on what type of color I want. With shadows, I usually lean towards the blue because, shadows are, more bluish usually. But with highlights, I usually add a tiny bit of a tinge of yellow. This makes things look a little less robotic and more natural. Speaking of my buns, take a look at this piece of bread. Isn't that nice? That's nice, right? You like it? Wrong! We've got more to do. The last step. The sauce. Now, the sauce can be something as simple as highlights, but other things I like to do to sauce it up a bit is something like, coloring the line art, or anti-aliasing, or even adding an outline around your art to make it pop. To color your line art, you can either choose one solid color to go all the way around, or you can color it depending on what piece of the line you're next to. For instance, we can color our sword deep blue on the cold steel bits, and then deep brown for the handle. This makes our art look a lot softer without changing the shape at all. There's a bunch of things you can do to level up your pixel art skills, but the number one thing you can do is just make pixel art. Every day, or any chance you have, make something that you like and stop stressing if it's perfect and just have fun putting pixels together to make an image. I'll see you guys and gals in the next video, but until then, bye-bye.